It's time to recap how we got here with the Supercross season in review. What do you remember? We chat with four-time AMA Superbike champ Josh Hayes about what's new for 2015. KTM's Caleb Russell has been on fire this year, and we catch up with him. GNCC ATV leader Adam McGill joins us at the desk to get us up to speed on his season. WMX points leader Kylie Fosnock is headed to California to keep her win streak alive. All that and more only on the Racer X Show. Hello and welcome. This is the Racer X Show. I'm your host, Greg. Not much racing over the Easter weekend, giving us a chance to catch up with a few of the sport's best. A lot of chit-chat in this one, so let's get going.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acherubi's Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
We start with the Supercross segment presented by Acherubi's with a look at the Monster Energy Supercross 450 class season so far. And to say it's been an up and down season for most of the paddock, well, that's a bit of an understatement. Looking at how things started and how things are right now, we've come a long way. And in typical Supercross style, it's the staying healthy part that eludes a lot of the top racers. We started January 3rd in Anaheim, California, 13 rounds ago. And with a gate drop, the season started. With a new team and a new brand of motorcycle, the red-hot Ken Roczen on the Soaring Eagle Jimmy John's factory Suzuki took the point. The theme of the year is #Who's Next, asking the question, who will be the standout rider battling for the #1 plate? The first statement was made by Roczen, who took a convincing 5-second win. The next stop was Phoenix, and out front early is Geico Honda's Eli Tomac, with Ken Roczen on the bright yellow machine making moves. That would lead to a good race between the two. Number 5, Red Bull KTM's Ryan Dungey was also charging, here racing up Autotrader.com Toyota Yamaha's Weston Pike on the Blue 23. But the excitement from the fans was the race up front, Tomac and Roczen. Roczen would put up a good fight, but Tomac was in a zone, eventually taking a convincing win. On January 17th, we were back at Anaheim, where Ken Roczen picked up where he left off, getting by early leader Andrew Short on the number 29 BTO Sports KTM. Roczen would set sail. But behind him, the first big controversy of the season, as the number 22 Discount Tires Chad Reed, leading number 41 Factory Honda's Trey Canard. Canard makes a mistake, lands on Reed. Both would pick up their bikes, get moving, a tap by Reed, and Canard's hands off the bars, he goes down. Reed would be pulled from the race, no points. But no drama for Roczen as he takes win number 2 of the season. To Oakland for round 4 and the first crack in the armor for the points leader Roczen. Racing to get up front, Roczen, making moves on Reed, had this huge and painful mistake coming up short off the triple. A look behind to make sure the coast is clear, slams his face into the crossbar. He'd remount and finish 16th, 5 championship points. So Reed gets by Short for the lead, but here comes Canard. Chasing Reedy, he closes in. You can't write this stuff. People holding their breaths after last week's incident and outcome, but Canard with a clean pass. But after that, Reedy started making mistakes, allowing Ryan Dungey to take second with this one. But it was Trey Canard, who hadn't won since 2011, the third winner in 4 races. However, that second place by Ryan Dungey propelled him to the championship lead. When we went back to Anaheim for the third time, it was time for our 4th different winner. Off the start, class rookie number 4, Yoshimura Suzuki's Blake Baggett, but Ryan Dungey was having none of it. Looking aggressive and fired up, that pass was all it took, logging his first win of 2015 and extending his points lead. High fives all around for the KTM crew. Round 6, the first race in February, marked the end of the West Coast swing. Saw a great battle up front with early race leader Ken Roczen getting pursued by Trey Canard. In the right-hander, Canard made the move that stuck. Trey picks up win number 2 of the season. Arlington, Texas for round 7, and Ryan Dungey starts to pour it on, winning his heat race, the whole shot, and he'd lead every single lap. A heel clicker for his 16th career win. Before the main in Atlanta, Ken Roczen had a nasty crash in the final qualifying practice, slamming into the side of the barrier, smashed his left ankle, but he would start the race. Then another huge story in this one, Chad Reed. He'd get the whole shot and take off. And then Roczen would have another huge crash. Left side of your screen, here he goes flying off, hard landing. He'd get back up and keep racing. But no one had an answer for Reed, as he takes his first of 2015, with Ryan Dungey continuing his streak of podium finishes, only missing it in round 1. After that race, Chad Reed Skyped in for a quick chat with us on the show.
Dunge is gone. I believe this is his title to lose. It's a bummer. I mean, you always want to be in the title chase. It makes it fun doing that hard work during the week. But right now, it's just I've kind of tried to shift my focus to race wins.
Back to the action, we find ourselves back in Atlanta, where Weston Pike leads the way with a chasing Chad Reed, who made this mistake and goes down. That cleared the way for Dungey to go after Pike, and with a nice aggressive move, bye-bye, Dungey keeps racking up the wins, his third of the year. Now moving on to Daytona, with a pre-race announcement that Roczen is out until the Easter break. That leaves things wide open, and at this point, one thing's for certain. The chatter about Ryan Dungey not being aggressive enough, not having the fight within him, is quiet on all fronts. And in this one, he's banging bars with Honda's Cole Seely, with Seely hitting the deck. Dungey then would go after quick starter Andrew Short, who everyone should be taking hole shot lessons from. And Dungey was ripping at this point, passing Short and took off. A smile under the helmet for Dungey, not only for the win, but because it was his first ever at Daytona. To Indianapolis, Indiana for round 11, a move off the start to pass Andrew Short, and Dungey checks out again, his 5th win of the year and 3rd in a row. Then we get to Detroit, and before we get to the main, semi number 1 had this huge crash for 2nd in points Trey Kennard on the Honda and number 12 Jake Weimer on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. A small mistake by Weimer, Kennard lands on his back, they both crash hard, get hurt, they're out. Kennard was sitting 2nd in points. In the race, this one would come down to an early pass by Eli Tomac on Ryan Dungey, and that would be it. After several main event crashes, Tomac gets himself back on the top step for the 2nd time this season. Taking us to last weekend's race in St. Louis, with Shorty getting the whole shot again, it would be followed by this scary crash, but he'd get up and walk away. Dungey was the first rider to get through, and he would just turn it up, leading from start to finish, his 6th of the year. And that's how we got to this massive points lead, Dungey's domination and key injuries to points collectors. At this point, Dungey seems unbeatable for the title. Supercross returns this weekend, live on Fox Sports 2 from Houston, Texas. Race coverage begins at 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. Pacific. And that's our Supercross segment, presented by Acherbys. Now it's time for our road race segment, brought to you by Yoshimura. Now this weekend will mark the very first race weekend for the new AMA Superbike series called Moto America. Moto America is being led by 3-time 500 GP champ and road race legend Wayne Rainey. His group has the task of rebuilding motorcycle road racing both internally and externally to build new world champions out of America's youth and reintroduce fans to the sport, a huge task for sure. And the racer that leads the paddock into the new era is 4-time and current Superbike champion riding for the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team. It's Josh Hayes. Hey Josh, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me on the show here, Greg.
Hayes, a lot of changes in the off season. Would you fill us in?
Yeah, we have a lot of new things happening. New series with the Moto America guys, a lot of new people in charge, all racing people, you know, so I think there's a lot of excitement around it, and I'm lucky that I'll be racing kind of in the beginning of the new era, at least for a few more years, and hopefully with a little bit of growth, it'll give me somewhere to grow into after I'm done with the riding side. But right now, focused on trying to win some races, and it's good to know that we have a full schedule, 9 weekends, 18 races, and looking forward to getting started.
That's the series, but 6 years with Yamaha, all in the R1, but now you have a brand new one. What's that all about?
Man, I couldn't have hit a better place at a better time, you know, and I'm very happy to be with these guys, but I'm going through a whole new thing, developing a new bike, just like I did when I first showed up. We did 6 years with the previous R1 model. We're starting over again now with this new R1 that just came out, and man, it's cool that I think we're going to show up and be competitive in the first race, but we're a long way from making this thing feel like home, and hopefully by mid-season, everybody's going to be crying in their cereal for the rest of the season.
Well, Josh, thanks for joining us here on the Racer X Show. Check back with us later this year.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'd love to check back in with you guys if you'll have me, and definitely looking forward to the first race. It's going to be good being in Texas. I got a lot of family there. Mom and Dad are coming out to watch, so fired up to race in front of a new crowd.
You can catch Moto America on CBS Sports Network April 15th. That's the preview show, 8 p.m. East. The race highlights from COTA will air on Sunday, April 19th at 6:30 p.m. And this weekend from COTA, MotoGP qualifying will air 7 p.m. East On Saturday, April 11th, Fox Sports 2. Then on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. East on Fox Sports 1. Moto 3 at 1, Moto 2 at 2, and MotoGP Live at 3 p.m. And World Superbike from Aragon's on BN Sport Network. Sunday morning, 1 a.m. is Superpole. Then 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. races 1 and 2 for Superbikes. All times are East. And that is our road race segment, presented by Yoshimura. In the AMSOIL GNCC presented by Maxxis Series, we've had 3 rounds already, and there's been some really good racing. For second, the man who swept so far, 2-time series champ Caleb Russell. And from his home in North Carolina, he joins us now. Hey Caleb, how are things?
Doing good, just kind of hanging out, taking it easy, and it's kind of nice having Easter weekend off, so kind of get to regroup, and right after that I'm on the road for 7 weeks straight, so I have a pretty busy schedule coming up, and just nice to be at the house, and the weather's getting nice, so go out golfing, and I can't jet ski yet because it's a little chilly still, but we're having fun.
Your 2015 has been going great. What racing have you been doing and what's been going on?
Yeah, I've been racing the National Enduro Series, the Sprint Enduro Series. We've had 1 race of that, and then obviously the first 3 GNCCs, and everything's gone off. I've had a pretty good start to the year, winning 4 out of 6 races thus far. So the Enduro Series, I've got some work to do to get to that top step. I've got 2 seconds, but I'm still trying to figure out the game. I'm new to the series, and it's a different format and it's tough. But the GNCCs, I'm a 2-time champion now, and I've started off the year great, and it's been really cool so far. And I'm just trying to do my own thing and take it race by race, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the year.
You're on the top right now. You've got 2 championships. What's keeping you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is being on top, and once you win so much, it's kind of it feels embarrassing to lose. So losing to me is kind of embarrassing, even if it's a second. Like, I'm still hard on myself. So that's what keeps me motivated and keeps that drive there. Is winning's fun, and especially when you do it a lot.
Well, thanks again for joining us, and good luck with your 7-week stint. We're looking forward to watching you race. And you can watch uninterrupted coverage of the GNCC motorcycle race on Sunday, April 12th, beginning at 1 p.m. East. That's live only on RacerTV.com. All right, since we're on the topic of GNCC racing, let's shift gears to ATV and welcome in points leader Adam McGill. Good to have you here, Adam.
What's up? What's up?
Oh man, a lot's up.
Yeah,
You're leading
for sure.
this championship in the ATV GNCC stuff. Let's go over some stats. Okay, so last year you're 3rd overall. Right now, you finished 2nd in the first race, and you won the last couple races. You're 20 points ahead of Walker Fowler. Chris Borich, the man, right, allegedly, he's buried in the points 39 back. What's this turnaround for you? What has been going on? This is a great year for you.
Biggest thing that's changed is, 1, I bought a home, and I'm settling down, getting really serious with my fiance, and there's a lot of pressure with that. And then I'm not getting any younger. I want this championship, and I want it now. And it crept up on me. We haven't done very good. What I would like to say, very good since the factory days, and now we're finally getting a leg up on it. We go to the races now. I'm there. I'm friendly in the pits. We're there to race, but when the helmet goes on, I got enough friends at home.
We're about a third of the way through the GNCC season. You're heading to another race. Do you feel any different inside now that you're the man up front?
Yeah, a lot of it's the same. I have my dad, which has been with me right from the start. He's been mechanicking on this thing and making sure it's 100%. And he's all excited again. So I know he's giving me 100%, and which I'll turn around and give him 100% as well. So, that's turned around. The program has changed with me drastically. My mindset, my training, everything. And then I've also had some wisdom from the great Barry Hawk, has spoke to me and told me a lot of things. And without the, like I said, without the support of my sponsors, which is huge, the fans, and then the support of my family, we wouldn't be here at this point. So I'd really like to thank them a lot.
GNCC racing, what makes it so exciting?
With GNCC, it's very different from a lot of the other sports in the industry. You're not going to find a bleacher. You're not stuck to a stand. You can walk and interact. Like I said, this year I have a bunch of green shirts out there in the woods, and it says Adam McGill on the front with my number. Then on the back it says, has an American flag on it, says "Cuz America." That's why. And it's pretty it's pretty BA to see a bunch of people out there with your shirts, you know, jumping in, getting you out of the mud holes, helping you up the hills, in which, you know, in motocross or in a lot of other sports, you know, the fans are kind of involved, but not to that aspect. You know, they can walk up, they can touch me, they can grab onto my bike, they can push me out of the mud, they can help me get up a hill. So it's very unique with what we do and very, very fan interactive, and that's why I'm really wanting to push this whole, you know, my fans are really helping me get there.
Adam McGill, folks, thanks for joining us here. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
And you can watch uninterrupted coverage of the 2-hour GNCC ATV race on Saturday, April 11th, beginning at 1 p.m. East, live only on racertv.com. Now to the Women's Motocross Championship, which is an 8-round series that takes place in conjunction with premier amateur and professional motocross events throughout the country, like the Ricky Carmichael Daytona Amateur Supercross, Freestone Spring Championship, the California Classic, Hangtown, Redbud, Ironman, and more. The WMX Championship is determined by taking the points from the overall best 6 of 8 rounds. And so far this season, the table has been run by Florida's Kylie Fosnock. 4 races, 4 wins, and she joins us now. Kylie, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you.
So Kylie, new season, new machine, and you are crushing it. What's the scoop?
This year, switching over to the green machines on the Kawasaki, it's been working out pretty good. We ended off Mini-O's last year. I think I got second there, which put me second overall in the championship, which I was happy with that, but I wasn't so happy with it at the same time. So with my off time coming into the new season, I just put in a lot of hard work. We switched over to the new bikes. We got the bikes all dialed in. I ended up liking the new bikes better than my Suzuki's. My times were faster. I had a pretty good feeling coming into the first round at Daytona, and then the gate drop. The first moto, I won that one. Then the second moto, I won that one again, which was sweet. And then we ended that, did some hard training, went back to Freestone up in Texas, and it was a big mud race. It was pretty rough, but we came out on top in that one too, went 1-1 again, so it was great.
Now you're off to California for round 3. You excited?
But first, we just got to make it there, and then we'll just see where the hard work puts us. I've been working since Freestone, so we'll see what happens when the gate drops.
Kylie said she's off to California to race. She'll be competing at the California Classic, which you'll be able to see right here on racertv.com live this weekend. And one of the people behind the race this weekend in California, 2X Promotions, Myron Shore, joining us now. Myron, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Greg. Glad to be here.
The California Classic is this week. What is it?
This week we have our 3rd annual AMA California Classic. It's going to happen in Glen Helen National Track, and it's an event that our team's very passionate about. We've been working on all year, you know, separate than our other events we do. This is a very special event. We have great sponsors involved, a lot of the industry out there. It's kind of in the heartbeat of our industry right in Southern California.
And the WMX National Series is racing as well, right?
Yeah, this is going to be our 3rd WMX round we've ran. We ran 2 last year, 1 at Cal Classic and 1 at Mammoth. This year, we're going to run 1 at Cal Classic again. It was exciting to have those girls out and watch them go at it. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
If I want to come out to Glen Helen this weekend and race, can I do that?
Yeah, you can show up day of the race. There's going to be sign-ups all day on Wednesday, all day on Thursday, and there's going to be sign-ups up to Friday morning. Pre-registration is still open until the 6th, and then after that, you'd sign up at the track at any time.
Myron, thanks for joining us, and good luck with your event.
All right, Greg, thank you.
Do you want to see some racing live? Monster Energy Supercross lands in Texas and Houston at the NRG Stadium. Supercrossonline.com for tickets. MotoGP and Moto America race in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. That's all weekend. World Superbike is in Aragon, Spain for round 3. Arena Cross is in the Pacific Northwest at the Spokane Arena. GNCC has 2 days in Union, South Carolina. Come race and watch. And finally, the WMX Series races it up at the California Classic in San Bernardino on Sunday the 12th.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acherubies, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
Thanks to Adam McGill for stopping by. Okay, we hope you liked that long one. We certainly had fun bringing it to you. We'll have plenty of racing to talk about next week. Check out all of our social media links in the meantime. Follow us on YouTube. It's The Racer X Show. You can follow me personally on Twitter. It's at Greg White. Well, for the fine crew here at The Racer X Show and Racer TV, I am Greg. And remember, we are all racing all the time. See ya.